A beginner's guide pricing gardening services. G'day YouTubers, it's Jeff from Feast Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. The other day I did a quote, which I don't do a lot of these days, but anyway, I had the opportunity to do this lovely property, and it was a simple process. I went out, worked out it was going to take me 3 hours to do. I multiply that by my business hourly rate. You've seen videos in the past of my business hourly rate, which works out the cost of running my business, paying myself a wage and giving myself or our business a profit. So working that out, working the tip fees, the travel times, and we come up with a figure and we let the customer know. They were happy, away we went. It took me, I don't know, probably 5 minutes the time I discussed it with a client, looked around, worked it out, gave them the figure there and then. It was simple, because I've done so many of them before. And then I got to thinking, driving away, I thought, how would have Jeff done that when he first started? I can't remember, it's 4 decades ago. How did I start knowing nothing? When you're starting out, I call it the apprentice. You're the apprentice. You don't know your hourly rate. You're working so slow because you're just finding your way, you're inexperienced. And I just thought to myself, it must be hard for someone starting out. So this video, I want to just discuss, if I started again, if you are new to the business, how to price up your gardening work, your gardening services, how to tackle it. Now, when we're starting out, I like to call the newbie or the new starter, I like to call them the apprentice. You know the apprentice, like the tradesman, because he's experienced, he does it a lot quicker, he's experienced, he can charge high price because he knows what he's doing. But the apprentice, he has to accept a lower wage because he's new, he's got to know the system, he's not experienced, he's got to learn the trade. And as he gets better, he gets paid more, he gets faster, and he becomes proficient. Probably similar to our business in some respects, although when you're starting out, you're actually running a business as well. So it's important that you've got to make some money. You might not be able to make as much money as experienced guys to start off, but you've got to make some money. So how are we going to do it? When we're starting out in our business, there's a lot of unknown factors, like our business hourly rate, etc. There's experience in actually doing jobs. We're a little bit, our knowledge is fairly limited when we first start, but that's okay. I like to break down income streams in 2 parts. The first is the bread and butter. That's the mow and blow, a standard price. It's easy to price up as a newbie. And the other one is what I call the cream. That's your rejuvenations of gardens. That's your big hedges, your landscape jobs, your little paving jobs, provide a little turf, whatever, garden maintenance. There's lots of those aspects that's what really makes the business hum along. That's where you make your cream, your big profits. Whereas the mow and blow might not make as much as the big ticket items, but it's constant income because it's regular. It's every fortnight, it's every week, whatever. It's coming in all the time. And that's what we call the bread and butter. Quoting for bread and butter jobs, mow and blow, the particular area that you're targeting, you'll have a rough idea of what the lawns cost to get mowed. It may range from $70 to $90 in our particular area. So you will know that price. And as a newcomer, you can charge the going rate of what people are asking or what they're charging for lawns. The big difference, of course, is the seasoned professional, he might do 12, 14 lawns a day and achieve a fairly high daily turnover and income. You as a new starter, you might be lucky to do 4 or 5 in that day, if that, because it's going to take you time to learn the shortcuts, to do a good job, to learn how to edge, all the little technical parts of mowing the lawn. Now, it's important when you first start out that you do take your time so that you do a good job, because you want that repeat income from the customer, and you want the word to get around that you do a good job. I've did a video, I think early on this year, that was about being proficient in how you do the lawn mowing and how that will make increase your profits in the business. And don't forget, when you're doing these quotes for the mow and blows, there's certain areas that you've got to be aware of prices. Obviously, if it's a brand new job and it's long grass, you might like to charge 3 times the cut, depending on how long the grass is, so that you'll get a good income from that, and then you'll charge the standard rate. Corner blocks will be a different price because you've got an extra nature strip, all these little things to add up when you're pricing up your job. But generally, as a newbie, you can charge what the seasoned guys do. Where the problem comes is in our cream. This is where it becomes difficult when you're starting out. It is tough to quote successfully for these one-off jobs, all these big jobs, these large ticket items, like the garden rejuvenations. It might take you a day or two. Hedges, garden maintenance and mulching, all these aspects that you haven't done a lot of before. So you're a little bit uncertain on how long it's going to take you. The best way to price these jobs is through trial and error. Now, your hourly rate, you're not really sure how you're going to use that. You'll see on forums, people will say, you've got to be charging $150 an hour or $200 an hour. And also you'll see jobs on Facebook forums and YouTube. Here's a job that we've done and it costs this much. How much do you think it should be? Well, the number of different varieties of prices, it just amazes you. It's funny, I was reading a Facebook comment the other day, and it's this hedge, and I thought, about $300 or $400, and a few people sort of had much the same figure as I was thinking. Next minute, it's $500. Mate, I wouldn't get out of bed if it was for $1,000. And it just kept going on and on and on. So don't take too much of gardeners in business that advise you on hourly rates and how much a job costs, because they carry a great big bottle of mayonnaise, and there's a lot of exaggerating going on, and especially when they get into a forum situation. I want to be the biggest and I want to be the best, and I'm going to show you how I do it. So just be careful. There is some good advice, and look around, but yourself, you've got to think to yourself, what do you think the customer's going to accept? And that's the other major issue. So if you've got a hedging job, for example, obviously you'll think, like a professional might say, 3 hours, and he'll put his hourly rate to it, bang, there's the quote. Now, if you compete with that professional using his hourly rate, you're going to lose out, because it's going to take you twice, maybe 3 times as long. So you've got to get a feel for it. So you'll do your first hedge, and you might say it's $300. The customer accepts. You say, well, that's great. So you've done the job. It's taken a bit longer than you thought it would, but you've learnt one thing. You've learnt how long it's going to take that job. You're going to learn how to take the shortcuts, how to do a good job. And it's just a matter of experience. It's like the apprentice to become a tradesman. He's got to get experience, and that's like the new people that's starting out as a gardening business. So the next job, the next head you get, similar, try to increase the price, add 20%. If you get that, the next job, add another 20, keep adding and adding until you get pushed back, and you'll soon find the balance. In quoting, there's the too cheap and there's the too dear. Too cheap, we're going to fill our books up quickly, but what's going to happen is we're going to lose money and the business is going to fail. Or if we charge too dear, well, we're not going to get the work, are we? So it's a balancing act. So the advice of pricing, no one can give you an exact figure of what to charge, because eventually after your first 12 months, you'll have gained a lot of experience. You'll gain on your actual business running costs, how much it does cost to run the business. And the important thing is you'll know how many billable hours. That's the hours that you can actually work and get paid for, because there's a lot of hours that you don't get paid for. Travel, administration, maintenance to equipment, quoting, all these things add up. So once you understand that, and once you understand your true costs of running a business, it'll help you further when you're actually estimating or pricing up a job. But starting out, the bread and butter, it's simple for you to price. It's the cream that makes it harder. That's the old story, is you don't get You know, it's the easy things don't cost much, but the harder things cost more, and that's where you've got to sort of trial and error to get that pricing right, and you will eventually. But keep on your own track, look what others are doing, but don't get sucked in by what other people are charging, because sometimes it's not the truth. All right, viewers, thanks for watching. Look, really appreciate the comments I've been getting on recent videos. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'd love to hear your comments and how you started when you first started out. It's scary. You're just not sure. You're running a business. You've got to put food on the table, and you can get caught up for charging too cheap, and that's something I advise totally against. But you need to get the work in. So there's that balancing act, which I know most of you will do. See you on the next video. Bye.